Broadcasting live from the EBSN online studios in Columbus, Ohio. It's Silver and Blue Nation, the voice of diehard Dallas Cowboy fans. Now, here are your hosts, Big Game James and Producer G.
What up, everybody? Silver and Blue Nation. We got another week here.
What up, what up, what up?
I'm Big Game James.
Producer G.
What's up, everybody? Let me already give a couple of shout-outs to my people's already jumping in here. And if you listen to any other platform, jump on in the Silver and Blue Nation so we can get it in, so I don't miss your comments. Some of you be on Big Game James, EBSN. I feel y'all, but jump on the Silver and Blue Nation so we can get all y'all comments in and I can hear what everybody's got to say.
Yes.
Quick shout-outs to Benjamin Jones, Flora Pereira, Stephen Arthur, Adam Dixon, Ryan Dine, Ron Smith, Maurice Trevino. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining in another great day for Silver and Blue Nation Cowboy Talk.
Yes, like he said, we're streaming on Facebook for Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James, EBSN Online, Law Nation, Dallas Prospect. If you're on any of those pages, come jump over to Silver and Blue Nation.
Yes,
That's
sir.
where we'll
Jump
be
on
watching.
here.
And if you're watching right now on Law Nation's YouTube channel as well,
What up?
make sure that you go subscribe to the Silver and Blue Nation YouTube channel.
Please
and
do.
leave your comments there on Law Nation's feed. I'll be watching that one as well. So
Yes.
appreciate everybody who's tuning in today. We're back for another week of Cowboys talk. It's obviously a dead period kind
What
of
up,
right
Wendy?
now. Some OTAs going on, but it's just kind of slower right now at this part of the year, and it's about to get even slower until we get to training camp.
It's that blah time. It's that time where everybody looks good in shorts. That's the time. You know what I mean?
You're just getting excited about your new additions to your team right now. Just kind of getting a little feel for them.
I'm excited. I like the reason why I'm so excited, G, is because we got so many young players. It's different when you have an old team, but when you got a young team, I think we're like the third youngest team in the league right now. Average age is like 25.6 or 7 right now.
That's excellent.
That's really good.
And
we got
think about probably 2 or 3 years ago, maybe one of the older teams.
Exactly, and we cut that weight of the older. We only got 3 guys on the team that are 30 and older. Only one starter on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, which is Sean Lee. Dan Bailey's the other guy at 30, and J.P. Lodesher, he's the other. So it's those 3 guys. Long snapper. So only 3 guys over 30 on our roster.
Adam Dixon watching in Galveston, Texas. Wendy Salzer in PA.
What up,
says,
Wendy?
How we doing? We're doing great, Wendy. Thanks for
now
tuning
that you
in.
said something.
And everybody who's watching right now in the comment section, drop down there where you're representing the Cowboys from. Let us know and leave us comments and questions. Let us know what you guys want to talk about, because we're going to be talking about all kind of stuff today.
Yes, sir.
Including what you guys want. So
yeah, it's all about y'all anyway.
Thanks for joining us. Let's go ahead and jump into some Cowboys talk. I think.
What up, Container?
We talked about it before the show. The hottest thing right now is getting a deal done for Zack Martin. You think, or when will he sign that new deal? You were mentioning something about training camp, maybe.
I'm hoping for a training camp. You know, it's a sticky situation because it is about the money. I think the top guy right now is at $13 million a year, around that. I think a lot of people look at it like, nobody really wants to pay a guard that much money because you can get guards anywhere. But there are, to me, exceptions to the rule. You still don't want to put yourself in a bind as far as signing a top player like that. But at the end of the day, we need to keep Zack Martin happy. We need to make these numbers work, and we need to get it done by training camp, hopefully, because that's when they did it with Frederick. That's when they did it with Tavon Smith, and I would hope that they would. But both of those guys did it before they hit their 5-year option years, and Zack Martin actually is going into his year, and that didn't happen with those other 2 guys. So Zack Martin has been the good soldier. I hope get it done by training camp so he can come in happy, clear-minded, because there's nothing better for a player, especially what we're trying to do with the offensive line, new offensive line coach. We're implementing new players in there with Connor Williams coming out of Texas. You got Leo Collins, another year under his belt at the right tackle, so we really need that camaraderie with these guys. So as quick as we can get Zack Martin in there, hopefully they would, especially by training camp, because you can work out on your own, but it's nothing like when you're training with your guys, because that's when those little nagging injuries come in when you hold out too long. We've seen it what happened time and time again.
That's exactly what I was about to say with the injuries. Let me go ahead and give some shout-outs real quick over here on Law Nation's YouTube channel, everybody who's joined in. Chris Golden says, what's up, Big Game James?
What up?
We got Nicola in there, the real Bishop Kane, Dominique Alston, Gene Bryman,
yes.
J Farm D joins us every week,
what up,
Julius
Joe?
Williams, Chop. Just appreciate everybody who's tuning in every single week with us. So we can move on to another topic now.
Because we know Zack Martin's going to get done with. There's no way in hell Zack Martin walks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we can't believe that one.
No. I mean, no matter what, even if a deal don't get done, you still have him through next year.
Yeah, he's not.
But you need to get that deal done
You
now.
need to make him happy, though.
Darius Jackson, former running back who we drafted, or he was drafted before, right?
Yeah, he was drafted by us. We took him in the 6th round.
6th round.
Sixth
That was
round.
a late round pick. So
2016.
he's been re-signed. You think he has a shot to make the team this year?
We shall see. It's going to be a tough ride because he did blow out his knee, came back. You know, he had the knee injury, came back from Cleveland, which we were all, I mean, a lot of people, I was frustrated when we let him go because I wanted him to back up Zeke. Now he's back in the fold. He does have that good breakaway speed, good size. I think, but it's going to be a challenge because I really feel like they like Bo Scarborough. I feel like they really feel like they got a steal in Scarborough. And, you know, you still got Rod Smith in the fold. Rod Smith is not going anywhere. Rod Smith is not going to get cut. So Rod Smith is making the team. And it's going to be a tough hill. They signed him, you know, one of those not big contracts because it doesn't cost a lot of money. So he's going to be super cheap so it doesn't hurt you. But you're not really going to – I don't think you're going to see 4 running backs on the roster game day. So with that being said, it's going to be a tough hill. I think preseason, these training camp and preseason games are going to be huge on who stands out because you know Zeke's probably not going to play a lot.
No, probably not at all, if any. Wendy Salter has a question. Well, first let me shout out some people who left where they're watching from.
All right.
We got Ryan Dye in Texas, Floyd Peria in Greenville, Tennessee.
What up, Tennessee?
We got Joe Bragan, says he's in Toledo, right by us.
What up, Joe?
Stephen Arthur in Dallas,
Toledo.
Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy has a question, but before we get to that, we got Travis Allen in Spokane, Washington. Appreciate you tuning in from way out there out west.
Mm-hmm.
It's always nice when we can spread it all around the country like that.
Yeah.
Wendy says, what about the players that are the bubble of being cut? Like, who are some people that you think that could, you know, be on that roster bubble, or is there any surprises, I guess?
Well, I told you my surprise. I don't want to keep going to it, but Rico Gathers is my surprise cut. I don't want to cut him. But from what I've been seeing as much as I could with the OTAs, as much as I've been seeing with what I've been hearing, you know, Blake Jarwin is still doing good. They have high hopes for Dalton Schultz. I think he might be a surprise cut. Of course, Terrence Williams now. I said, hey, let's wait on Terrence Williams. Let's kind of let the thing unfold. But then when I saw the video, I was kind of like, might have to go ahead and get rid of him. So he could be a guy. Also, we signed Deontay Thompson. I don't think that's a surprise, but I don't know if he makes the roster because I really feel like when they drafted Cedric Williams, I'm sorry, not Cedric Williams, Cedric Wilson from Boise State, he's going to make the roster.
Think so?
Yes, he's going to make the roster. Cedric Wilson.
Surprise?
I don't think he's surprised anymore. I'm listening to Sanjay Lal. He says he's picking up the offense like the snap of his finger. All I hear is Sanjay Lal keeping his Cedric Wilson's name in his mouth. Cedric Wilson played for Boise State. He has the Boise State protection. I don't care what anybody says. He's going to make the roster. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's going to make that roster. So I think when you look at Deontay Thompson, who's 30 years old, Cedric Thompson, who's 23, I could see Thompson getting cut even with that 1-year deal. On the defensive side of the ball, that's going to be tough. Obviously, a lot of people want Tyron Crawford to go. He's not going to go anywhere. A surprise cut in the defense, Charles Tapper. I've been talking about Tapper. You know, he had the concussion in OTAs. Everybody's been bugging off that. There's just one more injury in the fold, and they're not really having contact, so you're wondering how is this happening. So he's definitely a guy that could be cut. And then we'll see what happens with the linebackers. You got the Justin March Lillard, the kid with Thomas we got from Green Bay. So it's in the mix. But I think just those guys right there are my surprise guys who are probably floating on that bubble right now.
We've got a few questions rolling in here on our Silver and Blue Nation Facebook live feed. And if you just tuned in, this is a live streaming podcast we're doing from the EBSN online studios. We're streaming on 5 different Facebook pages. So if you want your comments read or to be in with the conversation, jump over to that Silver and Blue Nation Facebook page and make sure you watch us there and like the page as well and give us a follow. We'd appreciate it. Joe O'Bragan, actually, first let me get to Ryan Dye because he said, wait, did you say Zeke won't play? Ryan, if you didn't hear, I think we were talking about preseason.
Yeah, preseason.
Saying he won't be playing in preseason.
I don't think Zeke is going to play a lot in the preseason, no.
Mike Foot's watching from British Columbia.
Nice.
Appreciate you there.
That's what's up.
Tim Warner in Alaska.
Yeah. I thought we only had one Alaska with Columbus Jones. We got 2 Alaskans.
We've had Tim Warner in here with us before.
That's what's up. I love it.
What's up, Annette? Annette jumps in there with us.
What up, Annette? What up, Bo?
All of our regulars just love these people that tune in. Mama T's in there with us.
Love y'all. What's up, Mama T? Love you. We'll see you in Carolina. You better be well.
So Joe Bregan wants to know about who's going to be taking kicks and punt returns this year. So that kind of leads me to Tavon Austin and what type of impact will he have. He says he wants to win that job.
He wants to win that job, and, he had the little fumbling issue when he was returning the punts for a little bit, but hey, we got him for a reason. We got to use him as much as we can. If we're, we heard that he's going to get the 24 touches. Well, I believe that that's utterly ridiculous. He's not going to touch the ball 24 times in a game, every single game, not no Tavon Austin. But let's get him the ball as much as we can. We have Ryan Switzer in there, so let's get him definitely on the punt returns. He should win that job because that's what he did before. I don't mind putting him on kick returns. Let's get him the ball as much as we can, especially in the special teams, because I don't know how much of a threat he's going to be on our offensive side. Get him the ball, maybe some plays here and there, but I don't know how big of a factor he's going to be in our everyday offense game plan. But definitely he should be on the kickoffs, and he definitely should be on our punt returner. There's no doubt in my mind, because he's got to get the ball because he is explosive, and that's the best place you can get him.
Yeah, I think him in the kick return game could make a huge impact, and that's something that the Cowboys have always lacked in my mind. Was like neglecting that spot too much, and I feel like good teams have strong return games, and like I said, I feel like all these years that I've been watching, that's always been a neglected position. Like we don't put enough importance on that, and I think that Tavon Austin could definitely provide something that we've been missing right there.
Right.
Let's move on to another topic, then we'll jump back into some more questions. OTA's underway. You said Jordan Lewis running with the twos right now.
Right.
He had a pretty nice rookie season starting. You think he should be starting? I mean, I know you got Byron Jones that moved back to corner. That probably has an impact there.
Well, my feelings on it. I think Jordan Lewis is more of an outside corner, and I think when I hear so many people talking about I hope he wins a slot job, they're putting him in there because of his size. You really have to watch Jordan Lewis as a cover corner to understand that he's an outside corner. Chris Richard, he's a coach. He knows probably more than me. He's in the NFL, and I'm not, so I can't go against what Chris Richard is saying. But I did post a stat from PFF, Pro Football Focus, and it said Byron Jones was one of the best slot corners in the league last year. Just saying. And I did say that for the last 2 months that he should play in the slot, and Jordan Lewis should be on the outside, because when you saw Jordan Lewis go on the inside, he had some struggles. He's better on the outside to me, but it's all about length and strength. That's the word of the day from Richard, because every guy he's getting seems to be about 6'2" and up. And even Brian Broader said, looking at the defenders, everybody out there is tall. But he did say Jordan Lewis is exception to the rule. So we shall see. It's only the second week of OTA, so that really doesn't mean anything. But to me, I hope, Jordan Lewis's attitude, and he's scrappy. I know he wants to win that job. He's not going to take anything lying down. But we're going to see, because like I said, I think Byron Jones is a great slot corner, and I think he can do a lot of damage in that slot with his size, his long arms, and his speed. So we're going to see. It's going to be a great battle, but I think maybe Chris Richard has kind of already put Byron Jones there, because maybe he's trying to prove a point that I can make Byron Jones a great corner. So I think he's going to give him every opportunity to start on the outside first.
Nice take on that. Everybody tuning in, we got a lot of questions and comments coming in. I'm going to try to roll right down the list. We got Diego Mastez. He's wanting to know, well, he has something that he wants to talk about that you and I were kind of talking about a little bit before the show started. I'll get to that in a second. But first, you can touch on Rimling Griff's question. He says, will they go after a veteran safety like Reed or Vaquero?
No, because my thing is, if nobody, first of all, they're not going to. Here's the thing. They're not touching Eric Reed, okay, because he did the kneeling thing, and I don't care what people say about that. That's the truth. That's a stain on him, and the Cowboys, America's team, is not going to deal with that. Number two, why would we go get Vaquero? He's still out there on the market. Nobody else is touching him, so why should we? If you hear Chris Richard, let's listen to what he's saying. I think Xavier Woods is that guy. He's giving him high praise. He's also high on Kayvon Frazier. He's also like Jeff Heath, and he also likes the guys that he's brought in: Cameron Kelly, Robinson kid from Oregon, Donald Alumba from Portland State. So he's brought in guys that he believes that can contribute to what he wants to do. So if they haven't touched anybody now, they're not going to touch anybody. Let's be honest. Vaquero, good player, but if other people saw that, how come he's not unsigned? The only time I see these guys probably going to get signed if there's a major injury, then you'll see these guys get signed. But if nobody's touching them now, why should we touch them? That's all I'm saying. We drafted Xavier Woods for a reason, correct? We drafted him. We wanted to get him in a higher round because we had higher marks on him. These other guys that we had high marks, Cameron Kelly, they wanted to draft him. They were ecstatic that he went undrafted and they could get him like that. So they're satisfied with what they have. So if they're satisfied with that, I think we kind of should just move on, leaving the safety position alone, because it doesn't seem like Dallas is going that route. They're getting their guys that they want, and they're going to see what they're going to do.
And you said Woods is looking real good right now, right?
Woods is looking real good.
He's the sideline to sideline.
Sideline to sideline guy. And I mean, we got him for a reason. He was a playmaking safety in college, and he had an interception. It was a playmaking type interception. You saw when he played last year, he was getting better and better the more reps he got. He's going to be the guy. Why stunt his growth? Why should we get a Vicario or a Reed to stunt his growth?
Yeah, that's not somebody who's going to really make a big impact. If
Exactly.
you're getting Earl Thomas or something,
right.
That's different.
But those guys aren't impact players, so why would you stunt a growth of a player that you drafted for a okay player?
Xavier Woods on a team, those guys aren't.
Exactly. You wouldn't do that. That does leave the safety position alone.
Diego says, hey, y'all, tuning in from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
What up? I was born in Alamogordo.
He says he's bummed Quentin Osborn didn't make the team. We needed that true one tech. That's what you and I were kind of talking about a little bit.
Right. And see, I feel y'all when y'all say about the Quentin Osborn, a lot of people were mad about that, but we have to understand we're not at training camp or we're not at the OTAs. You know what I mean? We're looking from the outside in. So all we see is the highlights of Quentin Osborn and how good he looked and what he could do. But obviously there's a reason why he went undrafted. There were 7 rounds and nobody touched him. Okay, and he came in and it was only like a week and we got rid of him. So maybe they seen not enough effort. Maybe they seen that he doesn't fit our scheme. They got a kid, Antoine Woods, who has some get up and has some go. He's a one tech. He's not as big as the Quentin Osborn, but he's a pretty decent player. He got some good get off the ball. And I just feel like, you know what, we're not seeing what they're seeing. So obviously they might see something that we don't. So you never know. They can always get rid of a player and bring a player back. So we can't say that he's done. But I just say that these guys and Ron Marinelli is a great line coach. And if he's not feeling that's the guy, then I mean that's just not there.
And moving on to some more comments, Floyd Peria says Damian Wilson might be gone. What do you think about that?
You know, I've been thinking about that because, like I said, you remember when I wrote my article on Damian Wilson last year for the Landry hat. I really was hyping him. I thought he was going to come out and be a breakout player because he looked so good. He was a sideline-to-sideline guy. I think he was pigeonholed. Maybe he's in the wrong spot playing the strong side. He's not a strong side linebacker. He's more of a weak side where he can trail. So maybe he got put in the wrong position. But I don't know if he gets cut. He could get cut, definitely. But I don't know if he does because we need depth. We still need that linebacker depth, and he has been in the system a few years. And I know how Dallas is. They don't really like to cut the players that have been in the system for a little bit. They feel more comfortable with guys that have been in the system and have that depth. So unless he has just a terrible camp, I see Wilson making it because of depth. Not being an impact player any longer, but being a guy that can come in and make better splash plays, because maybe he's just better like that. He's not a starter, as we found out last year.
And we've got Mike Foote. Thanks for your comment. He wants to know about Dak Prescott. Well, this kind of ties into a topic we had set up anyway. He says, can this be a breakout year for Dak? And Dak says he thinks he don't need a number 1 wide receiver. What do you think about that?
Well, you know, it's been the debate around the world where he's saying you don't necessarily need a number 1. And I can understand where he's coming from as far as a number 1 receiver hasn't won a Super Bowl in a very long time. You're not going to feel like, oh, we got a number 1 receiver, we're going to go to the Super Bowl now. I don't feel that any longer. But you kind of do need a go-to guy, kind of. Somebody you feel real comfortable with who can make plays, who can get those critical downs. So, in essence, you kind of need that top guy, but you don't need to feel like you have to force feed him all the time like it was going on with Dez. I think also, because a lot of people are asking about Dez, does he regress? I think Dak is going to do okay because I feel like he's going to be freer, and I feel like he knows he has a lot to prove. He has a lot to prove. This is a critical year for him.
Well, Ryan Dye, speaking of that, he has something to throw into that. He says, what are some predictions on Dak's improvement this season? What's some things you might expect to see him doing a little bit better? I would say footwork to start it off.
Yeah, I definitely think footwork. I think he got off his base, and he acknowledged that his footwork was off, and that was his biggest problem. I think he definitely is going to clean it up. Now, that being said, it's been across the building that he's never been a great practice player. So sometimes you see him playing in practice, you're like, what the hell's going on? But he's never been a great practice player. He's always been more of a gamer. But if I'm looking at numbers, he threw what's at 62 completion percentage last year. I think that goes up to about 65, 66 this year. I think he has a good touchdown to interception ratio. Throws about maybe 32, 33, 100 yards.
That'd be nice.
About 25, 26 touchdowns. I think he can do that. And about 12 interceptions, maybe about 10, 12 interceptions. I think I'm okay with that because I feel like we don't need Dak to be that guy that's throwing 4,000 yards. I don't want Dak to be that guy because he's never.
No, but I feel like I would at least like him to eventually get to a 30 touchdown, 10 pick type ratio.
I think he can. Like I said, I think Dak's going to do really good this year, and I think he's going to silence critics. I don't think he's going to fall off. I mean, we had a uneven crazy season, and his numbers weren't terrible. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if I looked at him like from 2016 to 2017 and he just had a drastic drop off, then I would be worried and nervous. I don't know about Dak.
Still won 9 games and should have won a couple more.
You're a winner. Your touchdown to interception ratio is killer. You still have a great completion percentage in your 2 years. So all of a sudden we're going to think in year 3, Dak is going to go to 50 completion percentage. Oh, more interceptions. I don't see that. I just don't see. He's a smart kid. He's a winner, and I think Dak is going to do just fine with our team.
Yep, I think you said it. He's a smart player.
Very smart.
I just want to thank everybody if you're just joining us for tuning in. Period. Like, we're on Facebook and YouTube for Silver and Blue Nation, and on Facebook also we're on EBSN Online, Law Nation, Dallas Prospect, and Phantom Sports. So anywhere you're watching there, jump on the Silver and Blue Nation page so you can get your voice in here, so we can say your comments and shout you out. And let us know where you're watching from. We'll give you shout-outs and leave comments. I'm trying to run down through them all. And also over here on Law Nation's YouTube,
Russell Harrison.
I'll jump back in there in a second, too, and give some more shout-outs and take a few comments from Law Nation's YouTube as well. So thanks again for tuning in. And if you missed anything, you can rewatch it here, or you can go listen to us as well on the podcast. As you see it right at the top of the screen there. If you're watching now, we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play.
Check us out, man.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, all over the world.
Watch our archive shows on YouTube. That's an option as well. So we'll just keep moving right along here because so far a lot of these comments are tying right into what we're talking about.
Exactly.
And Floyd's been active today.
I like Floyd.
He says, what do you think about Jaylon Smith being used like Bruce Irvin was in Seattle? That would be awesome. So what's the Jaylon Smith update, and are you excited about what you're seeing from him so far?
I'm super excited. He himself says he's a super action hero. He himself, he had these numbers, 8 pounds of strong. He added of weight, cut down his body fat. I think he ran a 3-cone and 3.98. His he was killing numbers that they were doing in the combine this year. And the explosion, I think you're seeing the explosion. I seen one drill, or I seen a play in the OTAs where he just exploded. It was like, man, that's the Jaylon Smith I missed when he got drafted. Now we're going to see where he's going to kind of fill out. I really think Van Der Esch is going to take over that middle linebacker spot. I really do think he's going to be the Mike, and they're going to move Jaylon over to the strong side. But I do want to see them sending him on blitzes. I definitely want to see them sending Smith on blitzes because I think he can be a terror and get some good blitzes off the edge. So in that aspect, if you're talking about sending him like that, yes, I do see them using him in that aspect. I think Ben Bloom, who's the new linebackers coach, has got a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and I think he's going to do a lot more blitzing and showing a lot more exotic things that we weren't used to seeing with the Cowboys before. And I just think you're going to see an aggressive defense. And when you see an aggressive defense, I think they're going to send people. And I think a person that you would definitely want to send if you're a linebacker is Jaylon Smith, because we saw even last year a few times when Dallas really sent him just a straight line speed hone on at the target. He came right in there and blew it up. So I definitely want them to do that, and I think you can see a lot more of that this year.
The one that stands out to me is against the 49ers.
The 49ers, when they sent him straight up that gap, and you saw that explosion, and it was just like,
that was like a little glimpse.
A glimpse of what we could see in the future. And like I said, if you look at our linebacking core, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't high on Van Der Esch at the 19th pick, but I ain't gonna lie, the more and more I watched him, I actually posted a video yesterday of his ultimate highlights, and that kid was, when they played Oregon, that boy was in the backfield every daggone play. And the boy is big. He's a nice size, and he's very athletic. I'm getting more excited about this kid, G. I really am. I can't lie. Him in the middle, Sean Lee at the weak side, Jaylon Smith at the strong, and then you can rotate some other guys freshly. I'm getting more excited about this D every single day.
You want to give a couple shout-outs?
Yeah, I can give a couple shout-outs. Everybody maybe just jumped in. If you Mexican Tony, Russell Harrison, Tim Warner again, Annette, Katina, Juwan James just jumped in. Alfonso Sloan up in here. I never seen you before, but what's up? Definitely shout out to you. It was a Rimley Griff.
Hey, I had a question from him earlier. But
Okay.
if that was that guy's first time tuning in, make sure you jump in here every Sunday.
Jump in here,
Mr.
Griff.
Every single week.
He said makes no sense to carry 3 QBs.
We didn't even talk about that.
Mike White.
Maybe he was talking. Oh, we did talk about it. I don't remember talking about that.
No, we didn't, but I'm just saying he's saying that. I think he just threw it up there, just like make no sense to keep 3 QBs on the roster
He wanted
when
to
you're
start talking Mike White.
Yeah, when you're talking about the game day roster, like you don't want it because we only kept 2 last year. You know what I mean? You're probably gonna stash Mike White on that practice squad and have Cooper Rush as the number 2.
I'd be all right with that.
I'd be all right with that too.
Charles Tapper injured again. Is this his final chance?
It definitely is his final chance.
Being
It
a
ain't no,
fourth-round
it ain't no more chances with no Charles Tapper. I'm telling you, they cover their tracks by getting Coney Ely. They cover their tracks by drafting Dorrance Armstrong Jr. And all I hear out their mouth is Dorrance Armstrong Jr. out their mouth. And remember that was what they were talking about with Tapper before. Now it looks like Armstrong has took that position as far as the guy. And I don't know how you got a concussion. There was no contact. But at the end of the day, that's another injury. And honestly, like I said, if he doesn't play with us and he gets cut, I really don't see Charles Tapper playing anywhere else in the NFL again. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think he'll latch on with the team and play anymore. Damn. So I really feel like this is his last opportunity to play football.
I don't want him then.
I'm just saying because I told you before, I read a story on Charles Tapper. When I wrote that article on him, I read a story about his mother made him play football dang near his whole life, and he didn't want to. But he was so good and big, he kept playing it. But his mom was forcing him, and that stands out in my mind because I was a youth football coach, and I remember when parents would make their kids play football and they didn't want to play, eventually they just quit or just didn't have the desire. And I just feel like if he doesn't make this team, you're not going to see no more Charles Tapper. That's just my opinion.
Let me jump over here to the Law Nation YouTube channel and then shout out some names over here. Jay Profits, he says it's his first time watching. Good show. We appreciate you, Jay. We're always trying to do our best to make it better every week. D. Shep in there, Jad H., Dwayne Yazzie, Gene Bryant, Julius Williams, what's going on?
What up, everybody?
Niner Empire 77
Uh-oh.
says Zeke equals trash.
So does your whole squad.
Zeke got an 80-yard screen touchdown.
And we beat you again, you bums.
Crushed you twice.
San Francisco, y'all suck. Get out of here, bum. You think you got Jimmy Garoppolo? You're sweet now? Shut the hell up.
Emil Burgess, thanks for your comment. Even M. Gene Bryan, what up?
Hey, but a lot of people want to cut Chaz Green. Well, Chaz Green, and I'm not pumping Chaz Green up. I'm not, folks. But he is running with the first team again, and I feel like he is going to make the team because they want him to succeed. He was an original draft pick from them, and they want him to succeed. Now, I know he had the terrible Atlanta game. I know he had a bad Philly game. And I know he wasn't great this year, but the year before, he was okay. He filled in for Tyron Smith. Very you know the word.
Yeah, they don't want it to seem like they were wrong about that.
Yeah, they don't want to seem wrong about him, so they're going to give you every chance. And we got that kid Martin from San Francisco. We still got Joe Looney, and who's starting and rolling with the first team? It's Chaz Green. I don't see them cutting him because they're going to go on his experience. They're going to think he's not that bad of a player. And at the end of the day, if one of those guys get hurt, I bet you they feel more confident with Chaz Green than anybody else, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because of that experience. But what about Fleming?
But Cam Fleming was playing on the outside when Tyron Smith actually set out for Veterans Day. Cam Fleming was starting at the left tackle position. So they're going to look like they're going to keep them at the swing tackle,
so Green
right and
was
left.
Starting
at right guard for Zack Martin.
Okay.
So the starting lineup was Travis Frederick, Connor Williams at the left guard, Chaz Green at the right guard, Leo Collins at the right tackle, Tyron Smith at the left tackle, but whenever he sits out, it's Fleming.
I'm good with Green at guard because at least he's not directly responsible for the quarterback's blind side, you know, things like that. So I think he could be all right at a guard spot maybe, but As a backup, obviously.
As a backup. And, I mean, if you look at the options we have, everybody says Joe Looney, but have you really seen Joe Looney do a lot? Not really. You've seen a couple games. You'll probably say Chaz Green is a better player, but everybody has bad games.
Rimling Griff says, any chance we put Williams at right tackle and move Collins to guard if he
Nope.
struggles?
Nope. That is his position, left guard. They probably came in day one and said, this is the position you playing, learn it, hone it, get it. That's where you're at, left guard.
Where did he play at Texas?
He played at tackle at Texas, but he played guard too. But he was the type of guy that could play. He was a flex, so he could definitely play either position.
Why couldn't they rotate him, though? They have always done that with Collins.
Yeah, but they don't need to. They just need to leave Collins. If they're going to keep him at this right tackle, let him hone it, learn it, get it down.
Zack Martin's a guy, too, who played some tackle in college.
He did, but he hasn't touched it since he's been in the league with Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's the same situation with Connor Williams.
They are. They're going to put him at guard, and he's going to stay there. They want a next guy like they had with Ron Leary. We feel like we need that Ron Leary too. And if you listen to Connor Williams, he has really soaked that in. He really wants to earn the star. I mean, that's really important to him, and I think he's really going to play that position. He was really good at Texas, so I think you're looking at that line right there. Travis Frederick, Connor Williams, Zack Martin, La'el Collins, and Tyron Smith. That's going to be our starters.
Eric Doxson says, what's the deal with David Irvin? Any updates?
Not right now. You know, like I said, this is what I felt about David Irvin. I feel like I know he's going to get in shape, but the biggest problem I have with David Irvin is this. You just got your daughter. You had the crazy stuff going on with your baby's mom, and I get it. I get the drama and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you're on a contract year. You're on a 1-year deal. You got to make this happen, man, not only for you, your kid. Your daughter, you got to provide for her. So you can't be coming in out of shape. And it's like, okay, we know you're going to get in shape, but what's the point of doing that? Your third year on the team, you're looked at as a leader now. So you can't be a leader coming in out of shape. And yes, the guys are going to defend you because you got the ultimate talent. You're 6'7", 295 freaking pounds, 300 probably now, maybe more because you're out of shape. But at the end of the day, this is a contract year. This is your money, dog, and you're coming out of shape. So that's why these Cowboys are not signing to a long-term deal, is because they have no confidence in you. I'm not going to shell out a bunch of money to a guy that's coming in out of shape on a 1-year deal. You should come in the best shape of your life. We can use the example of DeMarcus Lawrence. He had this injury, he had the suspension, and he came in. What'd he say? Gee, I'm a 10-sack guy. And we was like, no, you ain't. Well, at least I said it. I said, no, you ain't. You need to come in and prove it. And what did he do? He came in shape. He busted his ass. He got 14.5 sacks. He got that big 1-year deal, and he said, I want more. So David Irvin should have that same mindset because we need him to be that guy on our defense to make our defense go.
Over here on Law Nation's YouTube channel, they're over here kind of going back and forth about the Orlando Scandrick talking trash to the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Who cares what Orlando Scandrick says? He's a bum, and he's with the Redskins, and we should feel good. We should feel good that he went to the Redskins because they all go to the Redskins for the money. And what happens to them? They fall the hell off. They play 1, maybe 2 years, and then they retire. The Redskins retire you. When you leave from Dallas and you go to the Redskins, you retire because they don't really want you. They just want to pull you from Dallas. So, Scandrick, go get your money. You a bum. I never thought you was sweet. I was lying a couple of years when I thought you was good. I ain't going to lie. I was lying. I was lying, Scandrick. I was never, ever liked you. I thought Mike Jenkins was better than you, and I thought we should have kept him, and if he'd never had that shoulder injury, we should have. And I just always thought you was overrated, especially as a slot corner, because I remember you always getting bodied, and I'll never forget what Jordy Nelson did to you when he just bodied you and took the ball right out of your hands. That just let me think you're just a bum and you're weak and you can't cover nobody. So, bye. Shut the hell up. We don't want you, and we don't give up about you either.
Injury prone as hell, too.
Bum.
Thanks for everybody who's tuning in. And if you didn't know, you get all of your Cowboys information right here on this show, and we do it every week. So we talked about that last week. Don't think we didn't talk about that already.
You know we did.
So anything that you guys mentioned, we already hit it. Or
we did.
We're going to.
You know we did.
Don't think that we're missing out anything here. And this is your show.
Yep.
Those of you who are watching, this is the voice of the fans, Silver and Blue Nation.
Yeah.
And we're here every week, and your opinions are what we're all about. So we want to hear what you guys got to say. So make sure you keep leaving the comments. Keep bringing up stuff you want to talk about if you want to hear Big Game James' opinion on it. Right now, we'll keep it moving in our topics that we have built for this show. So is Dan Bailey going to have a bounce-back season this year after getting injured and kind of struggling after he came back from that injury?
Let's hope so. I can't sit there and say yes because I don't know how field goal kickers do, because I know once a field goal kicker gets messed up in their brain, it's kind of like over for them guys. I mean, how many times have we seen? We have 2 field goal kickers, prime example, that play for Dallas. What's the Nick Folk? Remember, he was sweet for us.
Billy
and
Cundiff.
then his mind went crazy, and then Billy Cundiff. Remember how sweet Cundiff was for us? He missed a few, and then his career was just over. Like when them, and even sorry ass Vanderjack, who was overrated when we got him, and then he just was garbage. But you know, when a field goal kicker starts missing them, it gets in their head. So I would think he is, because he wasn't fully healthy, and I think we rushed him back because we needed that field goal kicking. Because I posted something, on my page about how once we got inside the 35-yard line and we went into a run formation, we ran 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. We did not come out of it. We did not check out of it. We went and straight ran. So that's saying that we were settling for field goals. And if he wasn't, came back and we were feeling like we were trying to be in the playoff hunt, you'll rush a guy back because you're going to need those field goals, because obviously you're not scoring touchdowns. So I just think that he rushed back a full year of health. He says he's fully healthy. He's ready to go. I think he is, but once again, I don't know field goal kickers' mentality.
I hope he's
bunch.
good, man, because I don't think people realize how much of a difference and impact that having a great kicker makes on the game, and I just think that he is extremely important. I remember what it was like going through kickers, grammaticas, things like that. And just struggling. Like, that's a difference sometimes between a win and a loss is a field goal kick.
It's a huge difference, especially what we were doing.
This guy has always been super clutch. They call him Dan the Man Bailey, because he's Mr. Automatic. I think he's the all-time leader in NFL history for field goal percentage. Mm-hmm. His percentage.
Right.
So, I mean, he's a great one. And I just hope that if that would be sad if it just come to an abrupt end. He's still young. I think this is
he's only 30. Yeah, he's only 30. So you can play. I mean, field goal kickers can kick to their 45. Ask whatchamacallit, your boy from Vinatieri.
Vinatieri, yeah.
I mean, he's like 43 now.
Jesse Pope says, love your show. Keep it up. We appreciate that, Jesse. We're here every week. If you're just tuning in, this is your first time.
Jesse!
Thanks a lot. And Jesse also has a question. Jesse says, I think Taco is going to take over David Irving's Tech 3 spot. What do you think about that?
That remains to be seen. I can't jump out there and say that one right there. David Irving's better than Taco Charlton. I'm sorry. I like Taco. I've been on Taco.
Look like he's grown a lot.
He has. He's gotten bigger. I feel like his mentality is strong. They've had some articles where he says he wants, he's looking at the DeMarcus Lawrence kind of blueprint where, Lawrence just only really had the 2 sacks and they were in the postseason. Came back the next year and got 8 sacks. In a half year went on that tear. We got 8 in a row in 8 games. Mm-hmm. So I think Taco is like, look, I can have that same type of leap. And, a lot of people are seeing it. And like I said, he got a lot bigger from last year. So I believe in Taco. I don't think Taco is one of those war daddies going to get you to 12, 13 sacks a year. But I do see him. He can slide in that 3 tech. But he's not going to take it from David Irving. But he has been starting with the first team with them resting DeMarcus Lawrence. They said he's been looking okay, and he's been playing that left side. I feel like that's his position, the left side. So it's going to be tough because DeMarcus Lawrence is a left end. Taco Charlton is a left end. You'll see him mix and match who the effectiveness really goes down, but we're really hoping that Randy Gregory is taking over that right side. That's what we're all hoping and praying. If we can get him under that reinstatement, which I think he is going to get reinstated, our defense, man, oh man, it's going to – I'm trying to tell you, dog. I'm trying to tell you about this Randy Gregory dude. I'm not letting him go. He's a man.
I know you love him.
I love Randy Gregory. I'm sorry. I know he's a pothead, but he's a sweet pothead. He's a dope pothead. He's nasty pothead.
Man, I had a comment about the whole Taco thing, and now I lost it. That sucks. Wendy Salzer wants to know real quick, is Michael Kendrick still available?
No, somebody just said he got signed by the Browns, so he's not available anymore. But at the end of the day, Michael Kendricks, we weren't going to get him anyway for the 2 reasons. 1, he wants to start. 2, he wants that starter money. Dallas is not going to pay him that starter money, and he's not going to start. They drafted Vander Esch for a reason. They got Jaylon Smith for a reason, and nobody's taking Sean Lee's spot. So he's not going to be a backup, so why bring him in? There's no point. He wants to start. He went to the Browns. He's probably going to start.
Alfonso Sloan says, where do you think they will play Perkins, at linebacker or safety?
Perkins.
I'm not sure.
You gotta get me who's Perkins. I gotta give me some Perkins on that one.
Maybe he's got the wrong team's fan page. I don't know.
I don't know. You got to bring up a Perkins as safety, because I know the safeties that we have are, we still got Jamil Showers on the team, Woods, Frazier, Heath, and then, like I said, the Robinson kid, Cam
What about
Kelly.
the undrafted?
That's what I'm naming. Robinson, the Cam Kelly. Those are the guys that they're talking about. I have to bring up a Perkins. Please refresh me on him.
Freddie Flash. What about Earl Thomas?
Earl Thomas, I don't think that's happening. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna pay him that money. And if he does hold out, it's got to be probably like the best deal for the Dallas Cowboys and not the Seattle Seahawks. And unless that happens, I don't see us touching him. And you know how Dallas is. When they feel confident with their players, they're gonna roll with them. We've seen it time and time again.
Terry Turner says, what all pros do you see this year? I'm not sure if he's saying like all pro players or like pros versus cons. I'm not really sure what he means by that.
I think, Terry, you're talking about what do I see for the pros this year? Definitely, I think the only cons this year for me, if you're saying that, pros and cons, offense, cons are the receiving core. Not that I'm not excited that we have a bunch of young guys, but we're not proven. And so that just is, I have a little leeriness.
Alfonso got us. He says it's Eric Perkins. I guess we signed a linebacker from Seattle.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. He got me. We did sign to Eric Perkins because I actually lost.
See? That's why it's the fan show.
That's why we love you, dog. I appreciate you. We had the video because I posted something, said that smells like a Chris Richard pickup. I had a video. He wasn't like really dominant, and he played a lot of special teams with Seattle, so we'll see what happens with him. I don't know too much about the kid, to be very honest with you. I've seen some tape on him, but to me, I don't know if he's going to be more than a special teams player or maybe a here and there player. I don't think he's going to ever be a starter. We got those guys lined up.
I guess his last name's Pinkins.
Pinkins.
Okay.
So I apologize about that one. Sorry for not addressing that earlier.
Rambling Griff wants to know, will Rico finally get on the field? He's hearing Blake Jarwin's been killing it.
Yeah, Blake Jarwin's been the man, and I think they want. I mean, you heard what they said. What Jason Garrett said. He, even with 5 consecutive practices a day, Rico still wouldn't be where he's at. That's huge to me.
I think that he's just saying that because he never played college ball or anything.
Yes, but right. So here's the thing, folks need to understand. If the coach is saying that and he's not played any ball and he's not got on the field in 2 years and he's still saying, you know what, blocking ain't my specialty. Where do we see he's going to play?
Oh, real quick. Keep that thought because now I remember what I forgot a few minutes ago. Mm-hmm. It was about Taco. You said that the coaches said he looks all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather them be saying, like, he looks like a beast. They're not saying that.
I hear you.
So that's all.
I hear you.
Anyway, you can finish your thought. You talking about the tight ends.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to get Rico cut, and I'm not trying to want Rico cut because obviously we've seen the size, 6'8", 285 pounds, and when you see him, he looks freaking gigantic. But it's the mental part. He still looks like he's still not grasping. And, you know, we had the show this past week. G and Law Nation said that maybe he's just one of those guys that's not a good practice guy and that you just put him in the game, you know, inside the red zone. That could be true. But are you really going to hold a one roster spot for a guy you can just play in the red zone? That's what my thinking. I don't want no guy that you can just play in the red zone and he's on your 53-man roster and on your 47 game day.
He showed to me in that
46, I mean.
He showed to me, and I think he could play more than just red zone, like in the preseason, you know, when he got his opportunities.
He's got a block, though. You got to block in the Dallas Cowboys offense. You have to block or you're not getting on the field, so you got to learn it. So stop saying that that's not your forte. Learn it and get on that damn field. That's what I'm saying, because you're not going to get ahead of Blake Jarwin and Jeff Swain and Schultz because all those kids were great blockers.
He definitely has game-changing receiving ability for sure.
He does.
If he could get it together.
But how long are we going to wait, G? This is year 3, and he keeps on talking. I don't want to hear no more talk. I want to see you on that field playing, and I want to see you making plays. And if you're not doing that, and as I said before, I heard a few people talking, well, if we cut Rico Gathers, he's going to go somewhere and blow up. No, he ain't. He ain't played football nowhere else.
You still got to have a work ethic.
You still got to have a work ethic. And I go to the example of Julius Thomas, and everybody was like, why is he still a free agent? Why is Julius Thomas still a free agent then? Because you know why? Because Peyton Manning made him good. He wasn't a great player. Peyton Manning made him look good. And what happened? People got sucked up and like, ooh, Julius Thomas is sweet. He went to Jacksonville and didn't do jack poo. You get what I'm saying? Because he's not that great. And so Rico Gathers is just not going to, after playing no football with nowhere else and we cut him, he's just going to go somewhere else and get 50 catches. It's not happening.
Marcus Hawkins says he thinks Rico knows he's going to be cut. Jawan James says absolutely it's time for Rico to put up or shut up. Diego's asking about Zack Martin's contract. We talked about it a little bit. He just wanted to know why are they stalling. I mean,
they want them numbers. I mean, I don't think they want to pay him that probably $13 million. That's what I think. I don't think they want to pay that big dollar per year. I think you know how Stephen Jones is. I mean, he's definitely worth it, but you know how Stephen Jones is. He's El Cheapo.
Over here on our Law Nation YouTube channel, where we got a lot of people watching with us right now, we appreciate all you tuning in. We have this guy in here, a Niner fan. Like, what are you doing? Did you not get smashed the last 2 years in a row? He's saying Dak and Zeke suck. Like,
he's bored. They I don't know if they got a.
Thanks
fan,
for tuning in.
If y'all got a 49er fan page, you should holler at that. But guess what? We love you guys jumping on our page to talk Cowboy stuff. I love it because you know in your head, you know they don't suck. And anybody who says that, I don't respect you as any kind of a sports person. So if you say Zeke sucks, you don't know any football and you're terrible. So I shouldn't even be addressing you right now. But since G did, I'm going to address you. But you have no knowledge of any kind of sports and no football knowledge if you say Zeke suck. So shut up about talking about football because you don't know it.
And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be subscribed to a 49ers YouTube channel. That wouldn't.
I wouldn't get on a 49ers YouTube channel because, number one, you suck. Number one, you ain't worth my time. Number two, we smack the hell out of you every time. So why would I even waste my time talking about you bums? Y'all suck.
That's unbelievable. Marcus Hawkins says, will the offense, and he's tuning in on our Facebook Live. We appreciate that. He says, will the offense have the same predictability, or will we actually be able to scheme for opponents?
I think we're going to not be as predictable. Like I said, jump on my Big Game James page. I posted an article about the Dallas Cowboys predictability. It was yesterday I posted. It's a very, very good broke down article of how we did our sets, our receiver sets, our running back sets when we got into certain positions as far as like 35-yard line or out. You really have to watch because in some aspects we were predictable as far as, remember I was telling you we got inside the 35-yard line. We got in run formations. We ran 100% of the time. It became predictable, but they were saying in certain aspects we didn't. I think they're not going to be as predictable because everybody's predicting them to be predictable. You get what I'm saying? So you get a coach and you're like, everybody's expecting me to do this, so let me not do it. And I think another thing is, I'm not saying they held us down, but Dez Bryant and Jason Witten not being there, I think that's going to help open up our offense because we had to mainly go to them first. Whenever Dak hiked that ball, I don't care what anybody says, he had to look Dez and Jason's Witten way. No matter what, they got the first looks. Now when Dak backs off, he doesn't say, I have to throw to Dez. He's got wide open, so now he can be a little bit more comfortable. And I think that's what you're saying.
Progressions.
He has to go through the progressions, but he doesn't automatically look to the left and say, is Dez open?
Yeah, it did always seem like as soon as you drop back,
he looked right toward Dez. He looked right toward Dez.
And then that would delay other routes that might be
open. He looked right toward him. I mean, that was the first, seemed like it was his first look. Look over to Dez, see if he's open.
Niner fans still in here watching and saying
love y'all.
Things, so I mean, hey,
that's all right. It's all good.
Just staying tuned in. We appreciate that.
We love it. Love the haters.
On to another topic of discussion. We got Michael Gallup looking pretty impressive because we're talking about tight end. Let's just go right into wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Gallup's impressive. What kind of depth do you think we're going to see? Can you kind of lay out how the receiving group's going to look for us right now, for who we have right now?
I think it's going to be, if you're looking at, if we keep 6 receivers, maybe 7, it's going to be Hearns, Gallup, Beasley, Noah Brown.
You like the Boise State guy.
Cedric Wilson, and also I think the Lance Lenore kid makes it. I think he's.
So are you not considering Tavon Austin wide receiver?
No, I'm not considering because I don't think they're going to have him at wide receiver sets all like that. I think when they list him as a running back, I think he's more like a specialty player, and he's not going to be pigeonholed as a receiver because you can use him as different things.
If he's running back, then that means we'd be keeping probably 4 running backs.
I mean, what would then?
6 receivers, and I don't know how that's all going to fit in like that.
Well, we're going to see Tavon Austin's going to be on that roster.
And maybe 3 quarterbacks.
If you put him in that, then we're going to have 7 because I really feel like Lance Lenore is going to make the team. And I definitely feel like Cedric Wilson is going to make that team. Noah Brown is going to make it, definitely. And like I said, you got Cole, Allen Hearns, and Gallup.
Hulk Logan in the house.
What up, Hulk? No T. Will. Yep, no T. Will. I don't think he makes it.
T. Will gets cut.
I think he does. Well, I mean, let's ask ourselves now. You know, I was like the experience, but when we really look at it, like I said a few weeks back, Are we really going to fall off if Terrence Williams is not on the team? What has he really done for us? He had a few games where, last year had the 9 catches against, I believe, the Chiefs, but he really did nothing. And when Dez Bryant went out, he had his opportunities to step up and be the guy, and he never did. And like I said, that video, and I wish, I don't want to use it. Everybody makes mistakes. We all do. I'm not trying to hold that against them, but that just was not a good look. And then I've been trashed before. I've been trashed. But I ain't like, that's just like me, G. If I did that and I was trashed, I would never throw you on the bus. That's just because I value our relationship and our friendship that much. I wouldn't do that to you. So to me, that was just like, dang. And then he just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That was another chance for him, and he dropped the ball on
right. And plus, he's been talking about I'm stepping up and being the leader.
He's always been emotional on social media.
Always.
I don't like that.
I've
always never been a big fan of his. He's always seemed like a number 3 to me, maybe like a number 4. Not really a true number 2.
And think about it. If you cut Terrence Williams, who's really going after him?
What do you mean?
As far as another team.
Another team.
Who's really going after Terrence Williams?
Somebody will pick him up.
Somebody pick him up. Is he going to ball out?
He ain't getting 1,000
no.
yards.
Nope, he's not. Might not even get 500.
Jawan James says no Deontay Thompson making the cut.
Yeah,
so
I don't think he does.
Let us know in the comments who you guys think
who
will make or won't make the receiving position. There's going to have to be a couple cuts, so let us know in the comments.
Oh, and then I forgot KD Cannon, too.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of receivers, but
Lenore, and he's looking really good.
Lenore's looking good, man.
I liked him last year.
Yeah, you did, and a few people liked him, and he was close to making it. You know what I'm saying? He was very close last year, and it's not like he's a 5'9" guy. He's a 6'3" guy. He's a big kid. It's not like he's a small dude. He's a big receiver. So they're looking at that as well, and he has some speed. And if they keep bringing him back, there's a reason. Is that not right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're staying on receiver. We'll go ahead and shift over to this topic then. Dez Bryant was in the news saying that I guess he made a tweet. He texted a tweet on somebody's tweet or something saying that he would like to play for the 49ers.
Wow.
John Lynch came back saying we're good with what we have. So another team not wanting him, and now he's saying he's going to wait till camp. You think that's true, or you think no team's offering him anything?
I don't think nobody really wants him. He's waiting till camp because he's waiting for an injury. Like, let's keep it all the way funky. We got a lot of big names out there still unsigned. And what do? Teams, there's always injuries in training camp, always injuries, and there's always one major injury away from a guy changing your whole complex of a team. So if you see a major injury going down a receiver, yes, you're going to see Dez Bryant get a call. You just are. But that doesn't mean Dez Bryant's going to go there and ball out. It better be a top flight quarterback that Dez Bryant goes to, or Dez Bryant's not going to do anything. And that's just the truth.
Do you think maybe teams have reached out, but his price is too high?
No, I don't think. I think the pride may have come down because you're not going to get a big deal.
He got offered a nice one, didn't he?
Well, you had one nice offer from Baltimore. Nobody else gave you that money, and you just seen the Brandon Marshall. You heard DDP made the article about him, 5 years older, receiver. $2 million, and that's basically all on incentives. If he hits all the incentives, Dez Bryant's not going to go somewhere at the start of training camp and somebody gets hurt and you think they're going to offer him $5 million a year. Hell no. They're going to say, here's $2 million, take it or leave it.
I think he might be getting a big piece of humble pie and realizing, like, he's not that valuable anymore. He's not going to get that double digit in the millions per season anymore.
But let's be very honest. If we can really go back to it, and I said this last year, that when Dez Bryant was sweet, and I'm not taking anything away from Dez, but when he was with Romo made Dez Bryant better. Okay, because Dez Bryant was never a studier, and everybody was dogging Chris Carter, saying Chris Carter don't know what the hell he's talking about. Dez, he's just a Dez hater. No, Chris Carter, I don't think is a Dez hater. He's a person that is truthful. He played the game, and when he said Dez don't know routes, and other players are on the field saying Dez don't know routes, what everybody's lying?
Yeah, Chris Carter's going to tell you how it is till you prove him wrong.
He is, and we can hate Chris Carter, but the dude knows what the hell he's talking. He does.
And if you prove him wrong, he's going to be.
He's going to admit it. He's going to admit it. But guess what? He was right about the Dez thing. And now, because you didn't put in that extra work and that extra effort, and you lived off of that athletic ability, now it's dissipating. Now you don't have that. So now, if you go to a team, nobody's going to look at you like Dez Bryant. They're going to look at you like Dez Bryant.
I think it's already seen like that. And he hasn't had a lot of respect from other players around the league either.
I mean,
throughout his time, people calling him out on his simple route run and things like that. But that's whatever. He's not with us no more. I think that talking about him until he signs with somebody is probably over. And I don't even know why we would even talk about that unless maybe we play him. with whoever he signs with.
And now, let's be honest, G, are you scared if Dez Bryant is the opposite side of you?
Nope.
Not at all.
Dave DeLeon says he's dumb for not going with the Ravens. Take what you can get. But the Dez Bryant move, that's what I wanted the whole time. I wanted to see that shift, that change at wide receiver, and we got it.
Right.
So I'm excited about that. Let's go ahead and take a couple more comments. I think we're done with our pre-built topics for the show, so we'll take a few comments before we wrap it up.
Freddie Freestyle.
Thanks for everybody who's been tuning in. If you're just joining us, it's the Silver and Blue Nation live streaming podcast from the EBSN online studios.
Yes.
We're on 5 different Facebook pages.
Hey, G, I don't mean to cut you off, but ain't you ready for some damn football? Like, this is that time where we sit there and, like, twiddle our fingers, like, hurry up.
I mean, I was just thinking earlier about how we're about to hit, like, the deadest time of the year.
Dead time.
They're about to have some time
Dead
off
time?
between OTAs and training camp, and there's just going to be nothing going on for about a month and a half, and until they start reporting for camp and all that. So,
hey, Diego.
all we can do is right now is hope that players stay out of trouble and don't get injured.
I think the biggest thing is the injuries. Probably the trouble should be the biggest, but the injuries are
the same thing basically.
Yeah, the injuries. You just don't want that to happen. But Diego Mastis.
Yeah, you're getting to Diego.
Yeah,
I was
he
going
has
to
a
get to that
quick
too.
question. Do you think we'll win the Thanksgiving game against the Skins? Let me just break this one down to you. Hell yeah. The Skins ain't never beaten us.
We're what? Dak's 4-0 against
4-0. They ain't beat us in forever, and when they did beat us, it was luck. We beat them with Matt Castle, okay? We were on a 7-game losing streak. We went in their house and beat them. The Redskins ain't beating us no more, not for a long time, especially as long as Gruden is their coach. We're okay. I was glad that they kept Gruden. And then they got rid of Kirk Cousins, and he wasn't even sweet to me, and he couldn't beat us. Now who's going to beat us? Case Keenum?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith? No, I don't think so.
So we can keep looking at some comments. Hulk Logan was just making a comment on what you said about Romo making a lot of receivers, Laurent Robinson, Miles, Dez, so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
The only one he couldn't do that with, though, was Roy Williams.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah, Roy Williams.
From Detroit.
Yeah,
That's the one receiver he could not get on page with.
But you know what? I think Roy was just a weird type of dude. He was just a different type dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Dez Bryant, Dez always been a hothead, but when Dez like, I ain't doing none of that stuff for you. I don't care nothing about that rookie hazing. I'm not carrying your bags, no nothing.
Yep,
he just totally disrespected him, and it was kind of like okay. Everybody was okay about it. That just to me diminished Roy Williams anything about him.
Yeah, like you just lost all.
Like you lost all credibility, all respect.
I liked him with Detroit though. I thought he was going to be.
I thought he would come over and do good with us, but he was one of them stiff ass receivers. And he played at Texas. He was just one of them tall, stiff dudes. Never had the wiggle. He was just a stiff dude, and just.
Yep.
Just.
Ryan Dye says he was sad when he saw Dez get cut, but then I thought about it, and he had been declining in the distraction. That's exactly right. Ryan Dye when it comes to Dez. A lot of people were probably kind of shocked or hurt by it at first, but when you really thought about it, because I had already been thinking about it for so long.
When you really think
sense.
about it made sense.
It's what needed to happen.
Don't you feel like there's peace within the team now?
Yeah, and I remember us talking, and it feels more like Dak's team now.
Yes.
I remember us talking, during last season or the off season about the whole situation and just how we were saying that it would never be able to be Dak's team until he left. But I remember asking you one time if you thought he should be cut or not, and you were saying that maybe he should stay for one more year, stick it out. And I said, why though? Because that's just going to keep doing the same exact thing. You know what I mean? Like nothing's going to change next season if we don't get rid of him now.
Right.
But then you started changing your mind on that.
But remember, I was also saying it was the heart-mind thing. The mind, I think the heart was like, come on, let's try to give Dez one more. But the mind was really
you love Dez.
Yeah, I've always loved Dez. And, I still love Dez. I don't hate Dez at all. I still love him because his passion, and it seems like he's a good person. I think Dez is a genuinely good person, true person. But at the end of the day, I feel like the biggest problem with Dez Bryant has been he just never grew up. And I think that's his problem. He hasn't grown up yet. And until he grows up, he's always going to be in that same position that he's in right now.
Annette's got to get out of here. Appreciate you tuning in, Annette. Thanks
for
your
Annette.
support. Make sure
Bye.
you go. If you guys are watching too and you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you tune in every week. Give us a like and a share. Subscribe to the channel. Leave us ratings, all that kind of stuff. 5-star ratings.
5-star ratings. We don't, and we're not trying to be bougie up in here. I promise you, we're not trying to be bougie. We don't think we all that. Maybe behind closed doors, we think we're all that. But to you, we're okay. But hey, if you're gonna leave a star, you gotta leave the 5 stars. I mean, we repping the star. We want the 5 stars. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll go with a 4. But don't you dare hit 3, 2, 1.
Gina Kinney says win, lose, or draw. DC4L, that's right. Gerald Hughes says, what is KD Cannon looking like right now?
I haven't heard too much about KD Cannon. I feel like, he has that speed. Came from Baylor, has another Baylor guy that has a lot of speed. But I feel like, the Cowboys I'm looking at what Sanjay Lau is saying. You know what I mean? And he really got Cedric Wilson all up in his mouth. It's all over there. And he also said a lot of stuff about Deontay Thompson, too. So he could be a guy that he could slide in over Lance Lenoir. I think that battle is going to be between Lance Lenoir and, who did I just say?
KD Cannon or Wilson? Wilson from.
No, Lance Lenoir and we got another free agent. I just said it. I forgot his name. Thompson, yes. I think that's the battle. Thompson and Lenoir is going to be that battle.
I can see that. That's what I said battle. Right when we signed Thompson. I thought him and Brown would be fighting. Noah Brown would be fighting for that final spot.
I just feel like they kind of just. I'm not saying Noah Brown is bulletproof. I kind of feel like they just, Jerry Jones likes Noah Brown. So as long as Jerry Jones likes Noah Brown,
Zeke does too.
Yeah, and so as long as those guys, and I keep it real, Ohio State players are good football players.
Oh yeah,
they're good football players.
Big conference, come from big time recruiting.
They go to
state.
the NFL and they produce. They do.
Not the quarterbacks though.
Nope.
MJ says the Seattle game was the last straw for Dez, and I think you said that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all saw that. I think when he was out there running his mouth and he fumbled and it was just kind of like, you know what? I think everybody was kind of like grew tired of the antics.
You were already kind of done with it at that point. And that was it.
Yeah, you were the antics. I think that's more than anything. It was the antics, and then. We said it. We said it before. That the all or nothing coming out just really didn't hurt his PR. It did not hurt him. It did not help him at all because all we saw was a lot of negative Dez Bryant. And I wonder if they did that on purpose to show the light. You know how they can do that. We're in media, G, and you remember when we were in media school and we did things. They can show things that they want to show you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They can show you the videos that they want to show you. Just like I felt like they wanted to show Jason Garrett was a guy that F. Yo, he's tough. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to show that, but I believe they also want to show Dez Bryant. Okay, we're going to show you what the Dez Bryant we see, not to throw the X up you see.
Mama T says she's still listening while cooking her barbecue chicken.
She always cooking.
I wonder if she's got us on the Bluetooth and the headphones.
Hey, Mama T, all I know is we're going to be at that Carolina game. I'm not saying you better because I'm not being disrespectful to you. All respect to you. But you better have some food.
Dave DeLeon says 5 stars, so make sure you go to our Facebook page and leave that rating in there.
My little girls made that for me too, so don't trip.
And let us know what you like about the show. We appreciate it. And I just want to give a big shout out to the Niner fan who's still watching us.
He loves us.
I mean,
that means he's a down low fan.
I mean, he's making the Niner fan base look like shit right now.
Hey, he's down low. Most of them are. Let's be honest.
Go get the rest of your Niner friends, convert them.
Hey, G, you know most of them are down low fans. You know that, right? They say they hate us, but deep down low, they be turning on the tube like, did they play? Did they win? Did they win?
Oh, I know so many people who hate the Cowboys, so they always post things about them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, for someone who hates them, you sure keep them in your mouth a lot.
All the time. We know another one. He works here.
Like, I never want to post anything. The only thing I'll post about another team is maybe like the great player, Tom Brady or something like that. Like, I appreciate the greatness of something like that, but I don't give a shit at all about any other teams.
Now, I'll tell you this. I will post your team. Your team sucks. Now, I will post Redskins on my page because I hate y'all Redskins. I hate y'all. I hate your team. I don't like y'all at all. And I will always post that y'all suck and bums.
Well, that's a little different, I guess, if you're within your division, your rivalry and all that. The NFC East.
And when I play the Niners, yes, I will say the Niners suck because I got a couple friends that are deep Niners fans. So, yeah, I definitely tell y'all suck. But I will not take the time to go on your fan page and say you suck. because then that's giving me credence to you, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you suck on game day.
They're like searching in their phone like Dallas Cowboys and then like clicking on it. Like they're actually
they're like,
going
hey,
out
I
of
like
their way to
they're like,
find
hey,
it.
I like this site. They're talking about a lot of great things. Let me say Dallas Cowboys suck so they acknowledge me.
Dave DeLeon says that's one thing that is going to bite is him and his son not being able to throw up the X anymore. That's one of them things that you got to deal with when you lose players. And
They're probably still going to throw the X up.
I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't a Dallas Cowboy trademark. It was his. He'll still throw up the X.
Yeah, him. They're talking about, like, as a Cowboys fan.
Oh, we ain't throwing up that no more?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's done.
That's what he's saying.
Oh, yeah. We ain't throwing up no X no more. That shit gone. As soon as he got cut, wasn't no more X's. You know how they do when they got all your name up there, and as soon as you get cut, and they're taking it down with the equipment. They're taking it down with the equipment. Yep.
D. Shep says he's out. Appreciate you tuning in.
Appreciate everybody tuning in once again. We love all y'all here. Silver Blue Nation, Law Nation, Dallas Prospect, Big Game James. All of y'all, EBSN support. We thank all y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in, even in this dead period, because we know we could be talking about the same redundant things because we're not seeing a lot right now. But we do appreciate all y'all jumping in so we can still talk Cowboys football. And we're going to tell you right now, it's going to be this because G going to try to get down there. We're going to get down there for a few days of training camp this year. And then we're going to be at games, and it's going to be the fun we want because I feel like we're going to have a good season, G. I feel like we're going playoff season this year. Playoff season.
I hope
it's
you're
the
right,
even
man.
year. It's the even year.
Before we wrap this up, a couple of little quick things more in the comments before we get out of here. Even Shepard over here on Law Nation's YouTube says, what kind of money you think Dez is going to get after a 1-year probate deal? Like, I guess a prove-it deal? I guess he's saying
$3 million at the most.
$3 million per season for Dez?
$3 million a year at the most.
Compared to what he would have been getting, $17 million from us?
Yeah, I think $3 million is the most he'll get. If somebody signs him to a 1-year deal, I think he won't get no more than $3 million.
Stephen Moses says salute. Julius Williams, salute. Spoonie Dog, salute. Appreciate all you guys who's tuned in so far today.
Appreciate y'all. Love all y'all.
Again,
really
if you missed anything,
love all y'all.
Make sure you go back and check it out. Ryan Dye says, great show, guys.
Thank you, Ryan. We love you. And he's been one of the first people that's been with us. Ron Smith, too.
Over this whole year and some change. It's
so
been a
much respect
ride so far.
And we missed you, Ryan. We're glad you're back. And, like I said, Ron Smith representing that Utah State. We've got a lot of people who's been with us from day one, and we definitely want to give y'all shout-outs. And all the new people, continue to keep following us. We're going to keep on growing, keep on doing new things. We're in the lab every day trying to figure out what we can make better for you guys and what we can continue to make more exciting. So continue to keep tuning in. Make sure you check us out during the week on Dallas Prospect Law Nation's page on every Thursday night. It's the late night. Make sure you check us out then, too, because we're still talking Cowboys football and things that are going through the week. So we're trying to give you as much as we can. Like I said, we're trying to get out to that training camp so we can give you the best footage, game time, everything closer to the field. I personally got a hookup, that I posted about a guy. He works with Monday Night Football. Said we're going to work something out, get me to a couple games. So we're going to try to make this pop and get it close to the action as we can for you guys.
That'd be sweet. Raw Vela Jr., real quick, this will be our final comment that we take for today. He says, who do you looking forward to stepping up most on defense? Who's that one guy you're looking forward to the most, I guess, stepping up?
The one guy. That's tough. There's a lot of people that's got some stepping up. Who's my one guy?
While you're thinking about that, I Kill over here in Law Nation's YouTube says Niner Empire's mom loves Big D. That's something that's pretty cool you can use as a Cowboys fan as a joke.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Take that D out your mouth.
It's all in there. Watching it. I'm going to say Randy Gregory, only because he has the most to prove to me because he hasn't played. And he gets reinstated. All eyes will be on Randy Gregory. All eyes will be on Randy Gregory if he gets reinstated. That's a fact. It will be almost like a circus again.
I hope you're right, man.
Do you think?
Yeah.
It's going to be like a circus because every play he does, they're going to be like, did you see that what Randy Gregory did? Did you see that second Randy? Yeah, it's going to be like that. The hype is back for him. I don't care what anybody says. The haters, I know he hasn't played in 2 years. I know, or a year, because he played that last game against Philly. But I'm telling y'all, he's that guy. He's the difference maker.
Stevie Mack said Kayvon Frazier. That's another good one as well.
That's a good one. Some people said Jaylon Smith. That's a good one, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, and Juwan James, Byron Jones. I mean, we could keep this thing going, but
it's time, a lot of players.
It's time to get out of here. So make sure you guys check back next week for all the Cowboys news that goes down between now and then. That'll be next Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. At least we'll try to get started at that time. We'll see what happens. It kind of changes every week. But nonetheless, every single Sunday. We weren't able to take phone calls today. We got something going on here with our internet system. So if you tried to call and we missed it, we apologize for that.
Yes, we are so sorry.
We should be up and running as far as that goes back again next week. So we'll have to figure out what's going on with our technical issues. But if you enjoyed the show, make sure you give it a listen again, like and share, all that good stuff. Watch us again. Make sure you tune back next Sunday for the best Cowboys talk from the voice of the fans.
Yeah, we might pop out one of some. We were doing some videos out there. Me and UG, when you was producing them hot videos about the pre-draft guys. We're going to probably throw some videos in so we get some breakdowns of some guys that are playing with the Cowboys right now that we can kind of look at who might be stepping up and who might make some differences. We're just going to make it a little bit more funner up in here. We have fun. We're going to make it more funner for y'all, though, so we can have some more interactive good stuff from the fans.
Thanks for watching Jay Farm, Jesse Pope, Real Bishop, Ford Fever, Don Ford, all giving us thumbs up, giving us 5 stars. That's Big Game James.
And that's Producer G.
And now the show's over.
Peace.